Hey there! Thanks for tuning in to Get Into the Root with Tracy Palmer podcast. Here, we're going to discuss topics and issues that will help you to become the best version of who you are. Our goal is to give you encouragement and information that will help you to execute your God-given vision. We are so excited you tuned in and hope you enjoy the show.
Well. Hey, y'all. Guess who's back? Ha! It's me. Oh, I'm so excited. If y'all don't already know, I am so excited to be with you all again. What is this? Entrepreneur Talk. Y'all know what it is. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to another episode. I took a little mini vacation. I don't know if it was much of a vacation. I don't feel vacation like. Oh, I don't know what it was, what I was calling myself doing. But anyway, I am back, hopefully ready to go. But let me remind you, if you don't know, we are still in our From Author to Authority series, and we're wrapping it up. This is it, y'all. I have been feeding y'all some good stuff. We've had some amazing people. We've had some amazing guests. And again, what I always say, we got another hot one. Why do I say that? When we have guests like this, that's why it's hot. We got Otescia Johnson. Did I get you right, girl? Did I do it right? Yes. We have her in the place. I'm so excited. We just connected this year. Last year-ish? Did we start? Was it last year or this year? I don't know. What month we in, girl? I think it was this year. Okay. We just connected through Michelle Jones. Y'all know I'm always on her show. So, and you may have seen us together on her most recent shows talking about church hurt. But she's got so much more that you don't even know about that she's got going on. So I want you all to get to know her. I'm not going to, you know me, I will talk, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to let her introduce herself. Like I said, we're in the last one. So this is the last one. This is it. After this, you can go back to the archives, go back to YouTube, go back to wherever, podcast. I'm everywhere to listen if you missed anything. But this is it. We're going to move forward after this. I'm going to start getting y'all pocketbooks. I'm going to start talking about credit. I'm going to start talking about business development. Because I got some people that's going to come on here and what they say, get your edges together. I don't know what they be saying.
You gonna snatch the edges.
They're going to come back and snatch some edges. So that's what they're going to do. So I'm so excited for her to be here. Go ahead and just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you got going on. This is tonight's the publisher's perspective. So guess what? You do know this. She's a publisher. So ding, ding, ding. What a perfect way to end this series. So Otescia, let me let you go ahead and take the floor for a minute.
So first, thank you so much, Tracy, for having me. I'm excited to be able to bring the publisher's perspective to this Author to Authority series. As you mentioned, I am a publisher, but I started out as an author. I had no idea that I was going to be entering into the publishing world. I'm a 13-time published author, multiple bestsellers under my belt. My company has helped over 60 authors bring their books to the market, and we did that in 2.5 years. Like we get it. So I like to assist writers in the writing process, but my real passion is teaching authors how to make a living from their books. You know, when I started, there was nobody really teaching this. Let me correct that. There was no one who looked like me who was teaching this. Can I just be honest? People were talking about it, but their cultural background was very different from mine. They were sharing very high level things. They weren't giving me actual action steps, things that I could do to start to see revenue coming in from my business. And so when I got the secret sauce, I just started sharing it with anybody who wanted to learn. Because I believe that, you're not successful if you're not teaching other people how to be successful. So that's my goal. That's what I do. I teach authors how to make money, how to make profits from their written work.
Awesome, awesome. And let me remind my audience, if you have any questions or any comments, please, please, please type them in. Let us know you're here. Thumbs up, likes, hearts, whatever the case may be. Just let us know you're in the building, because this is a good one. Because, I mean, how often do you get to sit in front, you authors, y'all hear me? You're getting to sit in front of the publisher. And she's right here today. One night only. One night only. So go ahead, and if you have any questions and things that we may be able to address, we will try to address that. Not saying everything's gonna get addressed, but hey, just throw it out there. But again, like I said, so excited. So let me do a little recap. So like I was telling you, Otescia, that we have been talking about this for weeks. I think I started this in let me see, November, I believe. I believe I started this in November, and I dedicated or might have been October. I feel like it was October, but definitely November. I dedicate, because I'm on every second and fourth Monday. So I dedicated 4 Mondays, 1-hour shows, each one to minister, to empower, to inspire authors. Now, you might think I'm some world-renowned author the way that I'm doing this. No, I just got one book out there right now. My passion, not saying thing, I'm going to write, because I have more writings in me, but my passion is about business development and helping entrepreneurs. But I found out that people weren't speaking to the authors. They weren't really talking, like you said, that look like us.
Yes.
They weren't really empowering authors. And so, because a lot of people are like, oh, you just work with authors. I was like, I know it seemed like that, because when I busted out the gate early in 2020, I had my first conference in 2020 that was for authors. And so people were like, oh yeah, you must be all about no, but I realized that I'm just as passionate about all entrepreneurs as I am about authors, because I want to see everyone succeed. So over the course of those weeks, we covered some good topics, I believe. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of read the topics we covered, just to give people a refresher, or if they don't know, and then let you just kind of chime in however you feel, because like I said, this is called the Publisher's Perspective. Okay, so we talked about the self-publishing process and the importance of a cover. I mean, that was a good one right there. And then we went into the interior design and editing. I'm going to kind of pause right there, because I think all that goes hand in hand before I talk about the other things that we discussed. And I want to kind of get your feedback on, from your perspective, I want to hear from you when it comes to the self-publishing process. What do you feel, or how would you advise people when it comes to actually linking up with a publisher such as yourself, or really just trying to do it on their own? Kind of just walk us through that a little bit.
Right. So a couple of things. One thing that I tell anybody, number one, you can self-publish. You can self-publish.
Yes.
It's not a taboo like it used to do years ago. Of course, we're not selling books out of the trunks of our cars anymore, unless you want to. You no longer have to go to these vanity publishing companies where they're charging you $10,000 to $15,000 and requiring you to publish 1,000 books at a time before they'll give you a contract. But you do not want to self-publish quickly. One of the biggest mistakes I see when people come to me, because we publish two different ways. One of the ways that we publish is we have a traditional publishing model. And I'm very, very super duper selective about who I bring into the traditional publishing model. And what that traditional publishing model means is my company assumes all of the financial risk. Please listen as I explain this to you. We assume all of the financial risk. That means the author does not make any type of investment whatsoever. And then we earn our money back, plus a part of the royalties that the author is going to receive from the sales of the book. The reason that I'm super selective, and any traditional publishing company you go to is going to be super selective, is because if the author does not have an audience, if they do not have influence, but that doesn't mean that just because they have 10,000 or 20,000 followers or 100,000 followers, that those 10, 20, or 100,000 people are going to buy from them. You have to have an influence over your audience, and that influence is what compels them to buy. If an author doesn't already have that, or if they're not willing to do the work to build that, if I offer them a traditional publishing deal, I'm going to lose money, because they're not going to be able to sell enough books for me, number one, to recoup my investment, but number two, for them to make any money. So then that would mean me, my team, and the author are all going to put all these months into this work and not have anything to show for it. So this is why you get a lot of authors that cannot get a traditional publishing deal, even though they're fantastic writers. They're talented, their manuscripts are fantastic, but a lot of writers tend to be introverts, and introverted people are most often not comfortable selling. And that's just the truth of the matter. So this is why you see celebrities getting these traditional publishing deals when they didn't even want them. You know, I always tell the story of how Joel Osteen got his first book deal. He didn't go out and look for a book deal. He was doing one of his dream conferences in New York at one of the big Madison Square Garden, that's where he was. And he had sold out. And there was a line around the building, and a publishing assistant was like, what is going on? What's at the garden? Why all of these people in line here? And they said, we're all here to see Joel Osteen. And he was like, who is this person? And why have we never heard of him? And if this person has this many people in line to meet him, we should offer him a publishing deal. So that's how the traditional, the big five publishers, that's how they go after clientele. They go after clientele who are influential, people who have a proven track record of influencing their audience to buy. So if that's not you, but you know you have the work ethic in you, you have the grit in you to get out here and attract an audience, and you really believe in your message, then you can do the other side of what we do, which is, we call it publishing partnership, where you're going to put up the finances and we're going to do all the work. So the benefit of working with a team like myself is you don't have to wonder if your formatting is right, is your editing right, is your cover going to be in line with industry standards. You don't have to worry about if your copyright is going to be registered, your ISBN. We handle all of that for you. But here's the thing. If you pay someone to do the work, you're still a self-published author, which means they should not take your royalties. One of the biggest things that I see happening with self-published African-American authors, they sign these publishing deals with these small companies, and because the author doesn't know any better, then the author pays someone to publish their book, and then the person still takes royalties on the back end. And especially if this person just publishes your book through Amazon KDP. So here's what that means. And I'm giving out all the secrets tonight. So I hope y'all will take it.
All the secrets. She telling all.
So listen, if you pay someone and then all they do is upload your book to Amazon KDP, keep in mind that after all of the print expenses are covered, Amazon is going to take 30% of the profit, okay? So let's say your book is a $10 book, and it costs $3 for them to print it. There's only a $7 profit, and Amazon is going to keep 30% of that. So now you're looking at 70% of $7 that you have to split with somebody else. That just... That doesn't make sense. So if your person that you're signing with, they're calling themselves your publisher, if that individual is not taking a financial risk, they do not get royalties. They've already been paid when you pay them up front. So just be wary of those types of deals. There are, and it's not illegal. It's not.
Right.
It just happens to be a business model, and it works well for those companies, but it does not work well for the author. You
Mm.
know, I was an author first, and I will never do a deal that I didn't like. I signed a publishing deal where it was called a joint venture publishing deal. I paid half the expense, the company paid half the expense, and then we split the royalties 50-50. So this was not an Amazon. This was a legit international, very large publishing company. And I believe they may have moved overseas at this point. This was many years ago. But even what I learned during that point, they taught me about the publishing process. So to me, that money was very well spent because what I learned from them, I was like, wait a minute, I can do this myself. And so that's how I got my start. But I would never go back and sign another deal like that because I'm not my royalties if I've already paid you. Now you're
Right.
double. So from a publisher's perspective, that type of deal works, but it doesn't work for you as an author. So just be wary of that type of thing.
So see, this is the publisher's perspective. Listen, did y'all take notes? So y'all better download the podcast and listen to the replay videos, all that. Because I mean, I'm telling y'all, I might take it down. Now I'm just playing. One time only. But okay, so with your company, do you, like, you're very particular, like you said, about who you accept? And just help me to clarify this. Do you do both? Do you offer both, or just okay? So you'll take the full risk if you feel like they're worth it?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow. We don't find that.
Very rare. It's very
That's what I'm saying. So at that point, they are working with a smaller company as yourself, but you're getting a big company feel.
Absolutely. So the distribution network that I use for my company is the same one that all the big 5 publishers use. So your book is still going to be available one of my authors who had a what we refer to as a mini guide. So it was a small book. It was on stores and Target. We were on Barnes and Noble shelves. She was in Walmart online, not in the stores. She was featured by Amazon for an exclusive program that you have to be invited to. Like, it's something that you wouldn't even know about unless they send you the invitation. And that was based on book sales. So when we have someone that not just has the following, but they have it. And what I like to say is when the it factor for an author is not just your ability to write the book, but it's your ability to master marketing. Publishing is a business, and who you sign with as the author, you are going to have to market your own book. You do. It's just, we can help you. I'll give you all the tools. I'll tell you all the things to do. I'll even give you a breakdown, step-by-step guide. I even have somebody on my team who will do some of the social media posts for you. But what we cannot do is we cannot be you. We cannot show up and deliver you to your audience for you. You have to do that as the author.
What? We don't get that. Oh my goodness. We're not that. Okay, yeah, you the real deal. You the real deal. You the real deal. Because most of the time when somebody says, I'll be your publisher, they're not taking the risk. They're basically just saying, I'm going to take your manuscript or your written work. I'm going to, like you said, maybe they have editing personnel or team, or there may be an editor themselves. They may be able to do your cover design. They may be able to do interior. They may be able to do everything, and then they'll send it, like you said, right through Amazon or KDP, and then that's it. And then, like you said, they'll charge you all this other additional monies just to do that. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't charge for the things that they've done, like absolutely for the cover, absolutely for, those things, but
everything is expensive. Listen, hear me. I'm leaning.
Wait a minute, that's the mama move.
I care about you. Listen.
That's the mama move. That's the listen.
Everything is expensive. I know that your former English teacher told you that they can edit your book for $125, and that seemed like it was very reasonable. But if you want to be taken seriously in the publishing world, you're going to have to invest in editing. And I'll be totally transparent. The hardest thing for me to keep on staff is solid editors. It just is. And I've met some fantastic editors. But here's the thing. You have to pay them. Great editors cost a great amount of money. And so you have to be able to, as a publisher, set your pricing to where if that editor's fee is $1,500, well, guess how much I have to charge this author in order to cover the editor's fee and the other expenses. Again, that's why it's so rare that the big 5 publishing companies will sign people who don't already have an established following, because it's very, very expensive. When you have someone that has spent years honing that editing, and I'm not knocking editors who are just starting, and I'm not even knocking the English teacher. But what I'm saying is, if you want to be taken seriously and go to this level in the publishing world, editing is a huge part of making an okay book into a fantastic book. And our Caucasian sisters and brothers know that. They spend money on the author themselves. They spend money on their own editing software before they ever even submit it to an agent, before they get anybody else to read it. They take their time and they turn their book into a masterpiece before they release it to the world. And that's why they tend to be taken more seriously than we do.
Wow. Okay, so let's not discourage the people. So, do you have a plan B for those? Now, listen, I'm going to ahead and be transparent with y'all. Y'all got y'all skimmies. Don't play with us. Y'all got y'all tax refunds. Stop playing. Go ahead and return them TVs to sit back in that bed. You didn't need that extra card. Stop playing. You know you got a book inside of you. You know, and you didn't even want to take some of that stimulus, and you got 10 children. You know you don't need to buy all of them clothes. Come on now, quit playing. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't. I'm sorry.
To answer your question, yes. So we definitely have affordable pricing, and we have payment plans, because here's the other piece that I believe. I never want someone who feels like God put a message on the inside of them to feel like they cannot publish. Anyone can publish. And to take it a step further, I even offer, I have a self-publishing guide. Erica, I see her comment. Erica has my guide. She knows, I give people so much for free. I give away so many different ways to empower the author. Even within that guide, I include how you can market. I tell you literally every website that you need to go to if you want to self-publish the book by yourself. And that guide, honestly, y'all, is only $37, because I didn't make it to get rich. I made it for the person who may be on a very, very tight budget, but they still needed or felt the need to get their message out. But if you're a person who says, okay, I don't want to do this myself, I want to pay someone else to take care of it for me, maybe I'll do the next one myself. We do have affordable packages, and they come with payment plans. And here's the thing that I do that's a little differently from other people. And it's probably not even the best, it's definitely not the best in terms of financial business structure. If someone comes to me and they say, well, I can't afford the package, it's just too expensive, I say, if we need to break it down over the course of 6 months, could you pay it in 6 months? I'm willing to break it down, because my end game is not just how much money can I make, because I mean, real talk, I'm a child of the king, I'm always going to be taken care of. But my end game is making sure that we have people who are of the kingdom, who are able to get their work out, whether it's a fiction book, nonfiction, I don't care. I just don't do erotic. Everything else I will do pretty much. But if you are a kingdom person and you have a book that you want to get out, I'm willing to work. If you're willing to put in the effort and you're willing to be consistent, and if I send this draft back to you and tell you, baby, you got to rewrite that, you're willing to jump up and rewrite it and not get your feelings hurt, I will work with you. Because money is the least important thing. What's most important is putting out a piece of work that you can feel good about, something that you are proud to put your name on.
Okay, you said your guide, and are you able? I was trying to while you was talking, trying to figure out if I can get it put in that real quick because because Erica's like, sure do. I'd be lost without that guide. I'm like, okay, that means we got to get the guide to the people. We got
Yes,
to
I
make
will
sure
put the
that
guide
the
in.
people get the guide. Let me see if I tried to do a copy paste. Let me see if I can throw it in here real quick. It worked. I think I got it. Let me
Oh, I
see.
can put it in there too.
Oh, it don't matter. We get
Look,
there. We
there
go.
you
Ah.
go.
Yes, let me see if I can get it pinned real quick. Yes, all right,
Look at
technology.
you. You got it going.
All right, it's working today, honey. I couldn't pin. I didn't know what I was doing before. Couldn't pin nothing. Couldn't do nothing. Hey, y'all, if y'all in the comments, the guide that has been talked about is available. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Now, is this is there's a fee for the guide, correct?
Yes, it's $37.
30. Y'all got y'all stimulus checks. Y'all got y'all tax. Quit playing with me. Y'all better stop eating. Stop eating and start investing. See, I got some people coming on the show in this next couple of weeks. See, y'all not gonna like. Y'all ain't gonna like them because they gonna really tear all up into stuff. So,
Good, good.
and one of them's my
That's
husband.
like,
Oh Lord, I'm like, my husband's coming on the show. Oh gosh.
oh,
Y'all pray, because he don't. Who he goes in. Anybody who watched him a couple Sundays ago, they would know because he did a financial series from church because we did it on a Sunday morning live stream.
mhm,
We didn't do one a regular message. There was a question and answer. He talked about credit.
nice,
He talked about
nice.
right, and people are wanting more. So what I'm saying is, listen. This is the reason. This is important. The reason why I know I'm teasing with y'all about y'all stimulus and all that, but no, I'm serious because we are so quick to get income, extra income that we didn't know was coming. So quit playing like you knew it was coming. You don't know. We don't know
Right,
what we
right.
gonna get. It's extra. It's money that you weren't expecting.
Right.
Now is the time to invest in something that's going to produce more income. And we're going to talk about that more. Actually, we're about to go ahead. Let me see where I'm at with time. Okay, let you talk about some things you got going on. And then we're going to go into the next part so we can really tell people, so you can give people more nuggets on now how we're going to really make your book profitable, because we talked about that. We got some more people talking about, hey coach, you just got your peeps on here, another hey coach on here.
Listen, my peeps show up.
Your peeps
Speaking
are
of the
showing up
things
and
that I
showing
do,
out.
my peeps show up.
And I love it. I love it. Because you see, you're getting endorsed. And this is what I'm talking about. I got her here. Where are you from? I know you're going to laugh at me. Well, I'm thinking when Michelle introduced us, I'm like, you live all the way in Indianapolis, Indiana, all day long, that I could just drive over to your house and have some cake and ice cream, some tea, some crumpets, girl. I'm thinking, yep, I could just pull up and roll up when I feel like it. Until you was like, girl, we having a storm. I said, girl, it's nice and sunny out here. What are you talking about, a storm? And I was like, she don't live here. Wait, where's she from?
No,
Where are
I am
you
in North
from?
Carolina. North
Yeah, I got
Carolina.
somewhere to visit now. Okay, thanks. Okay,
Yes,
thank
but
you.
I've
I
never
got
been to
somewhere.
Indiana.
You got somewhere to visit. You
I
got
got
two
somewhere
peeps
to
to
visit
visit.
now. Yes.
So yes, I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm so excited. So you got somebody that is, I'm telling you, we connect. She gives so much. She gave me some great information and didn't have to. Just took time with me. But listen, y'all gonna have to come out with y'all pockets and pay people and quit playing and stop acting like y'all won't pay people, especially if you want to go to the next level. So I'm gonna pause right there because see, I'll start going into all that. I want you to talk about what do you have going on right now that you want to, talk to the people about, or things that they can join. One thing I don't think I heard you say that, you didn't give your accolades of being a success coach and your business. You didn't really dig into who you are. So I want you to dig in a little bit to
No,
who you are.
I like to be humble every now and then. I feel like
Nah, girl,
Tony when
come
I
on. Ain't no humble right now. Now, nah, ain't this your time to shine right now.
So a couple of things. I am a success coach, and some people say, "Well, what does that mean?" I literally really teach people how to be successful no matter what your career path may be. So my ladies that you see chiming in the comments, they're part of the Profit team. Those are the members of my community. It's what's called Broke to Profitable. And what I do with that community, whether you are an author or you are a traditional entrepreneur, or you're somebody who's like, listen, this 9 to 5 is working my last nerve, I need an exit plan. I teach my community how to go from broke in their business to profitable. That's our main goal. So that means everything from teaching you how to structure your business, how to set up your back office information. Because one of the reasons that a lot of African Americans don't make money in business is because you have no systems and you're manually emailing, you're going back and forth in the inbox with somebody about what time you're available to schedule an appointment. I teach you how to have all of these things set up so that you can have an automated business, so that you can have time to do the things that you actually love to do. And here's the other thing, the same way you see these ladies that have hopped on this particular live tonight, I didn't ask them to come on, but my community, I could not be more proud of the family that they've created. Because when I tell you, they show up for each other, they collaborate with one another, they hire each other. Yes, that means money is exchanged. We buy products from one another. And so it is genuinely a community of women who are not competing. They are here to support and collaborate with one another. And I have watched several of them go from full-time employees to full-time entrepreneurs. I've watched them set financial goals and exceed them. I've watched people who were scared of live video they started to go live, and the money just started rolling in because people can't buy what they can't see. I teach entrepreneurs everything that they need to start being profitable in their business. Stop wasting money on parties and launch parties. Let me talk to the authors for a second. I know y'all heard me say that I have 13 published books. I just feel like I need to go into mama mode just for a second.
I ain't trouble.
I have 13 published books. I have never had a release party, a launch party, or paid to have a book signing for a single book. I have an international bestseller. It's called Adequate Counsel. It's a legal thriller. Look it up on Amazon. I have multiple books where across I'm in 5 genres now because I did a Christian fiction book just to see if I could do it. So you do not have to do those things. Here's what I spent my time doing. I spent my time developing my craft and developing my audience online. And I'm able to sell books no matter what genre I cross over into, not because I'm so great, but I am, but mostly because
that part.
People buy things from those they know, like, and trust. And so if they never see you, they can't know you. They can't figure out whether or not they like you, and they definitely can't trust you. So I just up putting myself out here for the world to see, and realizing that if someone did not connect with my message, and they're not my audience, which means I'm not talking to them. When I go live, I'm talking to my target audience. So in a nutshell, what I do is I teach you how to do the same thing that I just did. I teach you how to show up, I teach you how to sell, and I teach you how to make money no matter what your industry is.
That's awesome. Okay, I was like, I'm just sitting here just soaking it in, like, yeah. And so that's a part of what you have going on right now that people can take part of.
Profitable. That's the easiest, the most cost-effective way to work with me. I do have authors who work with me in that program because a lot of the content that you're paying for is what I provide in that program. If you want to know all the software that you need, if you want to know how to make those real pretty book release graphics and announcements and all that stuff that you see, I give all of that away in Broke to Profitable.
Awesome. Did y'all hear that? Y'all didn't hear that because y'all not doing nothing. Y'all didn't hear that. Listen, only God connects us with kingdom-minded people. Exactly. On this show, it's about kingdom-minded people connecting and empowering and inspiring, pushing. You get mama mode on here. Almost everybody I had on here that went mama mode. And then, like I said, my husband going to go in daddy mode. So you're going to get a little bit of all that because We're serious about you being successful. Now,
Yeah.
for me, I have to amen to what you just said when it comes to showing up before you do launches and all these different things, or just even doing them at all. I have done them. I've done, like the book signings and things like that. I've done that. But when I did my very first really big conference, because I do an empowerment conference, of course, we've been kind of stalled since COVID, but when I did my very first one, I made sure that people knew Tracy first.
Yes.
They trusted Tracy first. So, of course, my biggest support came from my church, because they've already had seen me in the pulpit speaking, heard me. They've seen, they knew what I was about. But then I also connected with other women and let them get to know me. So when they got to know me, they promoted me to their groups of people.
Exactly.
My first conference, being, I will say, I ain't gonna say like I'm somebody, but I am, as you did.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Come on.
At the time, not really being that known, I was able to get over 100 people to my conference, a 2-day conference. That's huge for me, because, I was good thinking I could at least get, let me get 50 in and I'm good. I had over 100 people over 2 days. And I don't know what I was thinking. My first conference would be a 2-day conference. Of course, I ain't never done that again. But yeah, I don't know what I was out my mind. But then the following year, because I already made the mark, the following year I had started doing more videos, more teaching, just being who I am. I put the conference back out there. Do you know a group of women got in their car from Michigan, drove over 5 hours? Yes. It could have been a whack conference for all they knew, but
they would have still came.
And that's what they said.
Yep.
Somebody flew all the way from California. It could have been a whack conference.
Yeah.
So somebody else, I forgot where she was from. She flew. These people paid I didn't buy their tickets. They paid and just to come and support. They weren't even my speakers.
Wow.
One of my main speakers, she drove herself here and hardly charged anything. She was like, girl, I'm just coming to be a part of what you're doing. But I just wanted to say that, to say what you're saying is so, so real. Okay, somebody asked a question. What's the name of that course again? Is that what it was?
That's what she's asking about. Broke to Profit. Yeah.
Can you type that in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our girl Michelle's up here throwing questions out there. You being funny, Michelle. You asking questions you know the answer to, so quit playing.
What did she say?
She's like, what if you
can come if you already have a business. Yes, everyone's I don't discriminate. But Michelle, if you come, I'm gonna put you to work. Because you can teach some stuff too.
I know, that's why I swear she about to join something. She tries to swear she about to just be a part of something behind the scenes. Every time we talk, I'm always putting her up to something. She be like, listen, I'm not sick of you.
If you come into my community and I see an ability in you, I will put you to work. They know I don't play. We all work around here.
I know that's right. This is about getting your coins. So, all right, now we may be just a few minutes longer tonight because I want to, not too much. I won't scare you. It won't be too much longer. Maybe about 5-10 minutes past my 8:00 time that I normally do. But I want to get to the profitable part now. And I'm gonna leave that up for people to see. So if they want to click on or type it in, click on or whatever. Let me make sure hold on. What am I doing on my phone? I can't. Now, when I want to do something, it won't let me. I'll do it later. Okay. So let's talk about now my other 2 shows. We talked about promotional products. And then we also talked about ways to monetize your book and make it more visible. So what is your take on, and it was a good thing about promotional the lady, it was Charlotte, her name was Charlotte, I believe she goes by Jenkins or Brown. So forgive me, Charlotte, if you're watching. But she talked about, because that's what she's a distributor. She's a distributor for promotional products, as well as she does help those to design their covers. So I have people that are multi-talented, I'm telling you, and they're about people getting their coins. So everybody that I'm connected to, we don't, everything's about, you better get your coins, quit playing. But she brought up some things that I didn't really think about when it came to promotional products. Yeah, we're used to the pens, we're used to the bookmarks. But man, she started talking about phone chargers, like the flat ones that you lay your phone on. And it was like she was just bringing up all these different types of products, besides just the t-shirts and the hats and the things we're used to. It was something, and of course, mugs. I swear it was something else she said. What is your take on the importance of promotional products? And then we're going to get into some other ways you can kind of share with people how to kind of make more money.
Right. So I'm not big on promotional products just because it has not been a part of my marketing structure.
Okay.
I do see it work well, especially for those who are interested in doing subscription boxes, or when the world opens back up and you want to do events. It looks phenomenal for your branding when you have all of your different products there, or if you need an array of products to offer on your website. So if you are interested in being a product-based business, then it only makes sense. If you're an author and you want to be a product-based business, then it only makes sense that you sell promotional products that are related to the message of your book. What I do is a little bit different because it focuses on monetizing your message. So what I tell people is, especially people of faith, a lot of times they say, well, it's the word and the word is free and we shouldn't charge. And I'm like, the word is free. It's called the Bible. But that message is on the inside of you.
Ain't free.
The years that you lived through for God to cultivate that message in you, all the gifts that it took for him to pull that message out of you, that has a fee attached to it. Because at the end of the day, you live in the earth realm. And it takes money in order for you to survive. And a lot of times I'll see people saying, well, I only sold 10 books this month. And, I don't see why people are being an author. You don't make any money from it. You're only going to make money as a speaker. And I'm like, that's not true. So let's talk about some of the ways that you can monetize your message. Of course, speaking, we know that. Book sales, we know that. But what a lot of authors sleep on, and this is, for me, it has been phenomenal, like pay my mortgage every month, phenomenal. When you enroll your book in Kindle Select, so we're talking about the ebook only. You enroll your ebook in Kindle Select, that means it's only going to be available on Kindle. And so I hear people saying, well, I want my ebook everywhere. I want it to be on Nook, and I want it to be on iBooks, and I want it to be all over. And I'm going, how much can you market all of those different pathways to purchase your book? Not only that, Amazon is king when it comes to ebooks. No one is selling anywhere near what Jeff Bezos is selling, all right? So you can captivate the audience that's already on Amazon. You can sell your ebook yourself if you have hundreds of thousands of people hitting up your website every day. If you don't, then you need to capitalize on the audience that Amazon already has. So I don't recommend publishing paperbacks there, but I absolutely recommend publishing your ebook there. Once you enroll in Kindle Select, then readers who are enrolled in Kindle Unlimited are able to read your book for free. And so Amazon is going to pay you, and it's very little. It's like a fraction of a penny per page, but you're going to get paid per page. Here's why this helps you. Once your book has 15 or more positive reviews, Amazon is going to start referring that book to their audience. If it's really hot, like you're selling really, really well, you know how when you open up your Kindle, you see an ad there? All of those ads are not paid. Amazon has the ability to put books that are hot ticket items, books that are selling well. It will put it immediately in front of all of its Kindle users. So that is going to give you a marketing power that is so far beyond your current network. So imagine if just off pages read, these strangers can read your book for free. So it's a zero threshold for them. There's no risk involved for the reader. But it's all reward for you because for every page, you're starting to get paid. So imagine if you're getting an extra $1,000, $1,500, $1,800 a month just from the pages being read. You didn't have to
Mm.
do anything for that. Now,
Right.
not only are you getting paid for, but now you've gained a new reader. If they like your book, now you have another person who can tell other people, hey, you ought to read this book. This was good. And you can get it for free on Kindle. There's so many Twitter accounts that tweet out free books. They just literally search through Amazon for free books and they tweet them out. There's so many accounts here on Facebook that tweet out books all the time, every day. There's even lists that readers can subscribe to where they get a list of books that are free with Kindle Unlimited. They get all these lists of newly released books because here's the thing about true readers. True readers are always looking for content, but they're not going to come up off their coin for an author they've never heard of with no recommendation,
Mm.
especially if it's an expensive ebook without some sort of incentive.
Mm.
So that's a huge way for you to be able to generate money. Another thing that you can do, especially if you are a nonfiction author, you can partner with a corporation or either a local nonprofit that has the same target audience that you have. So now they can pay you to come in to either teach their managers, you can do like an in-service, they have in-service training, or sometimes they'll bring you in just to talk to their audience. There's all sorts of corporate partnership form, and a lot of this can be done via LinkedIn. Just having a LinkedIn profile where you're sharing the content of your message, not necessarily what's in the book, but the message behind it. And having that book adds credibility to you, but most people don't tap into those other forms. Other ways that I've seen people monetize books, I've seen what we would, well, before it would be like a coffee house chat. Now you can still do virtual coffee chats, things like that. And you can charge for entry to those. And a lot of times people will pay because they want to talk to the author. You can, of course, do workshops. I built a whole 8-week course around my book, Goodbye Egypt, that's for entrepreneurs. And you know how much that course cost? $79. And people signed up like this.
Wow.
For a book that I'd already written. They'd already purchased the book, and then they paid me to teach them from the book. So there's so
Wow.
many different things that you can create so that the content is consistently making you money. You can do different interviews, and when you're being interviewed and you can share, just like we're doing right now, I'm sharing the link to all this stuff that I have going on that generates more revenue for you. So it's all about being creative in the way that you show up in the marketplace. I've even seen people partner with other entrepreneurs who, again, target the same, who speak to the same target audience, and then they come together and they collaborate to host an event. Now, both people are making money, but still it's money that you were able to come into because of the content of your book. There's literally the sky's the limit. I've seen concerts done. I have had a conference. There's so many different things that you can do. Once you get that book into your hand, it now becomes an open door. I often say that the reason when you stand the book up and you open it, it's like a door opening because your book is literally an open door. There's no
That's good.
limit to the amount of money that you can make from it.
That's good. That's good. I like that. It's an open door. Open
Yeah.
door. That book is an
Door.
open door to so
Yeah.
much wealth. To so much wealth. But you said something key at the beginning. Here come mama mode. You got to make it look like something.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
listen. I know you did what the Lord told you to do. I know, baby. I know, lamb. I know. And you just you did your best. But can my church say there's always life after? You can
Come on.
always relaunch again.
Please
Hallelujah.
do. Please do. You know, I work with a lot of authors who we have to relaunch. They'll bring it to me and I'm like, are you married to this cover?
Right. That's the word. Are you married to it?
Married to this?
And it's
there's
okay.
Yeah.
That's what we stress in. I want to say maybe the second episode we did when we talked about this. I was like, I was one relaunch. There's so many times I tell people, don't be Never be ashamed of what you put out there originally, because you didn't know. You were really in, and I believe God does honor our obedience, but guess what?
Absolutely.
But you can't be ignorant. What I mean is, once knowledge is presented to you, now you can't get on your high horse and talk about, well, God gave me this, and He gave me, the audience, and those 10 people that bought it. That's who God wanted to see. And I was like, that's a lie from the pits of hell. You better go on with that. I'm like, that's not who I serve.
God doesn't do small. He
does not do small
sales. He doesn't do small launches. He doesn't do small success. He's a big God. He's the creator of the universe. And you mean to tell me He told you to put all that effort and all that work into that book so that 2 people can buy it? That doesn't even sound like that. That doesn't sound like
that sound like you. That don't sound like God. That sound like that. That's the flesh. You need to put the flesh under subjection. Exactly. Crucify the flesh. That's what needs to happen, a crucifixion, because you're talking out the side of your neck. No. And I don't want to make you feel bad, but I got to say it to you like this, because I don't want you to keep not profiting. Because I've read some amazing life stories that I'm like, is going to go nowhere. Because of the cover, not even editing. I mean, it's not even basic editing. I'm like, goodness, great! I could have edited that, I'm like, come
your type is so big, you only got like 4 words per line. Like, listen, we're not in kindergarten. We're not double spacing.
To get more pages. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. It's not a children's book. Now, if it's a children's book, that's different. We understand that, but we're talking about something else. So please, I'm giving you content. We're giving you, I've created a platform to give you what you need. Don't allow yourself to stay so prideful that you are not willing to connect with people. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Absolutely. That was every time. Ask for help, because you just don't know who God's going to touch their heart to be a blessing to you. God knows your finances. He knows where you're at. He knows what you can really afford and what you can't. And I guarantee you, I'm a witness. I tell you what, all I did was I got serious and said, God, I want to do X, Y, Z. And from the X, Y, Z, He began to send people when I didn't have the resources that said, I want to be a blessing to you. I'm going to open doors for you. I'm going to help you get to the place you want to get to. And don't worry about the cost. We'll work out the fee, whatever. And they've done, I've had anything that I have had done, God sent the people to be a blessing. Absolutely. Until I was able to actually finance myself. And I'm a witness to that. I'll just say this, to the point where be on the lookout for me having my own network. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not just saying that to be saying it. I actually already have something in works. I will be launching. You guys will be getting the word out. The word will be going out soon. But that's all I'm going to say. That when I said yes to God and got serious and started working my plan, He started sending people my way that connected with me, that brought me up to another level. And I still have other levels to go to, so I'm still being connected to people. And He put me on the path of exactly what He's always told me that I was going to be. I was going to be seen. I was going to be this. I was going to be that. I didn't see the way. Yes. Now, see, I done turned some testimony. So, okay, listen, because I felt that thing. Because
there's always time for testimony. Always. We always got time to testify.
Okay, only because when you got to be serious about the things that God wants you to do. Kingdom. Yes. It's about the kingdom. When you get that in your mind, you won't think 1 or 2 people, 5, 10 people. You're going to think hundreds of thousands of people. You're going to think worldwide. With your one book.
When I released Adequate Counsel and I started looking at my sales reports, and I had sales in Japan and China and India and the UK, and I'm like, I don't know people in these places. Mm-hmm. But the word that God told me to release, even through a fiction book, is now in all these different countries. So what does that tell you? This was not about just one person doing something small or one person with a small vision, but this was about one person trusting God at his word, believing that the impossible was possible,
Yes.
believing that if I was faithful over this gift, he was going to blow on it. His favor was going to be upon it.
Come
He was going
on.
to cause this thing to prosper. That's the thing with your book. If you look at your book as, oh, I just did this, and let me, I heard this, let me kill this thing real quick in the spirit and in the natural. You have got to stop saying as an author, well, if one person buy it, I'll be happy. If I didn't do this to make money. Stop it. Because you,
Stop
out
it.
of your own mouth, you are killing your profits.
Come on.
Killing your own pocketbook. And then you're crying out to God saying, God, I need finances. God, I need more. God, I need more money. God, I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of not having money. I'm tired of writing to PayPal. Then stop cursing your own field. You are cursing your own harvest out of your mouth every time you say, well, if I sell one, I'll be happy. No, you won't.
No, you won't.
You won't. Because one is not enough for you to get the revenue to do what you need to do. You have financial responsibilities. You have a call of God upon your life. There is kingdom work on the inside of you, and it takes money to fund kingdom. Joy
Yes.
Meyer for years. You know how she funded that ministry? Why so many women from all over the world were able to go to her conferences for free? She did that through book sales. She took the sales from her book, and at one point, 100% of her sales went to her ministry. That's how the ministry was funded. And she took a salary. She had so much money that she could take a large salary. Her husband could take a salary, and they could stab hundreds of people from book and product sales. So don't tell me that people aren't reading. Don't tell me that there's no money in books anymore. Don't tell me that you can't make money off of, as an author. When these celebrities put out books and they sell 1 million copies in the first week, Michelle Obama sold 1 million copies week one. People are buying books, but you have got to do the work. You need to put out professional quality. You need to up your faith game because you'll never achieve something that you don't have the faith for. And you need to do the work. Be consistent. Show up. Stop hiding. Stop hiding.
Stop hiding.
They can't find you. You hide.
Well, listen. Wait a minute. You might be talking to me. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Wait. I almost felt convicted. It turned into a conviction. I was like, yeah.
I'm talking to you. That's
like, wait. I started crying.
That's you.
I started wanting to cry. I was like, wait, I'm coming back. I promise. But you know what? In all seriousness, that is speaking to me because I have a tendency that after so long of being seen, I let the enemy convince me that I need to go back in hiding for no reason at all. No reason at all. But I'm too far out there now that I'm like, no, I can't fall for that trick this time. But that was a word. That was a word all day long because too many people are hiding. They are hiding. They're hiding behind something. And they have so much in them. That's why they won't do the book the right way. They really, let's just be real, because they're afraid that what if it is successful? What if it does get me out there? I have to maintain that success.
In the closet. That's the thing. See, when you deal with all the skeletons, you don't have to hide anymore. The devil can't tell anything about my life because I already told it all. I told it all. I told it all, and I done worked it out between me and Jesus. So there's nothing he said about my past that's gonna hurt me. So it doesn't matter who sees me. I'm not afraid of somebody saying, "Oh, you're gonna get knocked down off your pedestal." Number one, I'm not on a pedestal. Okay.
Let's start there.
Number two, there's no skeletons in my closet. We didn't clean that thing out. So when you do the personal work, then you won't be so willing to hide and hinder your own success, because that's really a trick of the enemy. He wants you to hide in shame because he knows if you ever get comfortable, if you ever fully get healed, if you ever fully embrace yourself and you this call to publish these books and this ministry that's on the inside of you, he knows that you will shake this world up and he will do everything he can to keep you silent. I didn't come on here.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm doing.
That's what happens on this show. Listen, I think everybody that came on here to preach, honey. It happens because that's what it's about. Getting this into the people's spirit, their soul. It's got to get in there. And that's why I wanted this to be such a special episode, because I want to make sure that everything that's been said gets drilled in. That like we come on, that we start seeing books coming out, that we start seeing people go from broke to profitable. We start seeing it, because I'm telling you, that's something. I'm like, come on, body of Christ. And what I love about the church I belong to, my spiritual parents, I love my pastor, because he talks about this all the time. We talk about dominion, dominating. We talk about what our position is in the earth. That's what it's about. What we're here to do, to get out there and do all that has been placed within you to do. That's what this is about. So even though we're talking about, I always call them literary masterpieces, that's what we're talking about, but it goes across the board to any and everything that God has said and has called for us to do. It's time to get it done. You jump right into what we had, what I was going to talk about, what I was going to bring up, but you already covered it when it came to the ebooks and the KDP. So I hope y'all took notes.
Yeah.
I hope y'all took notes, because she did slide that in there real quick.
They can download it and listen to it.
Hope y'all did. Hope y'all get that. Well, since we're pretty much at the end now, we just a few seconds over right now. I feel like it was something else I was going to ask you, and it just left my mind. We got so caught up. I got all happy in Jesus and stuff, and ministering and convictions and. Is there anything, I guess I'll just wrap it up like this, Seth. Is there anything else that you want to say to the people concerning, is there anything else, any nuggets or any other tips that you may want to give out? Or, I don't know if you've got any more encouragement. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, what's left? I mean, is there anything left?
I want to do, and I honestly, I didn't plan to do this. I just really heard God say that I need to do this. Okay. Since this show is called Entrepreneur Talk, I'm really passionate about seeing kingdom entrepreneurs walk in their full authority so that they can receive everything that God has ordained for their lives. I have a book called Goodbye Egypt, and that book really talks about how to get from that place of bondage to the place of freedom. And it's written for kingdom entrepreneurs. It's all about reclaiming the marketplace. The marketplace belongs to you. Whether you achieve it through a book, whatever. If you have a network like Tracy, if you have a publishing company like me, if you're a coach, whatever the area of influence that God put you in, He put you on the earth to dominate. So here's what I'm going to do. For 2 of your listeners / viewers, I will give away 2 copies of my book, Goodbye Egypt. Now, here's how you're going to get the book.
Y'all better listen.
Make sure you are following Entrepreneur Talk. And then you need to reach out to Tracy. Let her know that you watched the show and you want to claim one of the giveaways. But you need to be following her page.
And it's Getting to the Root with Tracy Palmer. That's what it's Getting to the Root with Tracy Palmer. That's my page to follow. Getting to the Root with Tracy Palmer. That's how you need to reach me. And that's how I'll know that you saw it here.
Boom.
Don't do it on my personal page. Go to, because I'm ignore it. Go to Getting to the Root with Tracy Palmer. When you follow there, then message me there or inbox or however, but from there, because I'll know. And the first 2 will definitely, and I'll let her know.
Boom. That's how you're going to.
Now, can I be one of those 2? No, I'm just playing.
One of the 2, but I'll give you one because I love you.
Okay. Because I'm like, girl, I need to let me get my coins together for that. Let me go ahead and where do I send the money? Because I need that immediately. That sounds good. That sounds amazing. Thank you. There was something quickly just came back to me about fiction books. We had a conversation about fiction.
Yeah.
And I want to, hold you on too long, but I really wanted to touch on fiction books, because a lot of times we do not talk about fiction, especially as kingdom writers, as we want to say, or whatever.
Yeah.
We kind of run from fiction. We're good at the non. We the master non because everything is non. But can you kind of touch bases on how can someone be profitable? Because you've been profitable in the fiction arena.
I'm more profitable, real talk. From book sales standpoint, I'm more profitable with fiction
in the fiction. Talk about it.
Nonfiction, I have to do all those other things. I sell nonfiction books and I have nonfiction bestsellers. But in terms of profit margin, I sell way more fiction books. Here's the thing. Here's how God had to get me together. And that's, I'm about to step on some toes.
Yeah, you are.
But you need it. All right. For those of you who feel convicted or you feel like, oh, I'm a Christian, I can only write this particular thing, or the churches are going to receive me. The book that I was just telling you guys about, Adequate Counsel, I literally went through torment for 2 years over that book. God was hammering. I mean, I was dreaming about these characters. Everywhere I looked, I kept getting reminded, and I kept saying, no, God, I'm a preacher. I can't do that. I can't write fiction. I kept giving God all of these excuses. It literally took 2 years for me to get in position, get in obedience, and release this book. And that was the book that enabled me to go into full-time entrepreneurship, that one book. Here's what the Lord has said to me. He said, so often we forget that storytelling is a part of the Bible. And we trying to force the word down people's throat and hammering them over the head with scriptures. But if I am in you and you write, then there's going to be an element in me in every story that you release. That's the first thing. Number two, he took me to Kings, where David, after David had slept with Bathsheba and what he did to Uriah, this is going to bless somebody, so y'all listen closely. And instead of God just coming to David and saying, you were wrong, you did this wrong, God sent a storyteller by way of the prophet Nathan. And Nathan told a fictional story to David.
Wow.
And when David heard that fictional story, he then saw himself within the story and realized his own error, turned to repentance, and then went to prayer and consecration so that he could be purified after his sin. It was the storyteller that brought conviction. He didn't come in with all and know the law of Moses. No, he came in and he told him a fictional story. Fiction is the lie through which we tell the truth. If you write,
what? Say that again. Don't you run past that. Say that again. Fiction is
the lie through which we tell the truth. It is the vehicle that makes it more palatable. You can have so many different characters and they can show you the error of man. This is why we watch movies. The whole world is story sensitive. We watch television, we watch movies, we read books, we listen to audiobooks, we view television interviews, we're on social media. The whole world is sensitive to stories. So instead of you beating them over the head with your nonfiction, I want you just sit down and daydream with and tell them a fictional story so that they can softly be introduced to the error of their ways and turn to repentance.
Wow. How about you just, my mind, when you, and as much as, because even in the book that I have out now called Dangerously in Love, which I didn't write it as a fiction. The next one is going to be a fiction. The story about David and Bathsheba. You just blew my mind when you said that concerning the way that the prophet came to David in a story. And when you said, I'm like, he sure did. I would have never looked at it like that. Like he was telling a story that brought David to repentance.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
My mind is blown.
God said it to me too.
I'm like, I'm
I
done.
Can't even take credit. God said that.
I'm so done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
The way that we get to you. This is how we reach the lost. Because listen, real talk, we're not here for the pews. We're not here for the people who say they already know Jesus. We're here for the lost. And
Yeah.
so the way we're going to get to them is we're going to tell stories that they can tolerate. They're not on
Mm.
in the bookstore looking for Christian fiction. They're not checking for that. They're not on
Mm-mm.
Amazon trying to find the cleanest fiction book they can ever,
Mm-mm.
find. They're looking to be entertained. But if you are a believer and if you got the Holy Ghost on the inside of you and you just
Mm-hmm.
write what he gives you, there will be enough under layers of humanity and wholeness
Mm-hmm.
that you will be able to draw the people right back in. And they're like, I don't know why. Where did this seed come from? See, we're sowing seeds with these stories.
Yes.
You don't have to get saved day one, but we're sowing the seed. And somebody else is going to water it, and God is going to add the increase.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have talked about fiction this whole time. Because I'm going to do another show about fiction, because that is something that a lot of us are believers, we run from.
Yes.
Everybody writes either a story that's biblically based,
Mhm.
or a story. I mean, they don't, not a fiction. I'm just talking about is,
Right.
or
Right.
mostly stories of their life,
Yes.
or something like that. And so, like I said, I did Dangerously in Love, and I did it like I took 4 Bible stories, and I talked about them from the perspective of looking at yourself and the things that we connect to that can draw us away from God, and using lust and using all these different things, but I just did it just straight like that. But then I'm like, man, because I started off as a playwright. So
Right.
all I know how to do is playwright and take,
Yes.
stories from the Bible and then make them interesting and kind of put a twist to it. So when my husband said, why
Right.
don't you take your book and turn it into a fiction, change the characters? You can talk about rape through Tamar and Amnon. You can talk about that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
There's like nothing that you could ever talk about in a fiction book that's not in the Bible.
nothing.
Because the Bible.
And so I was like, that's right up my alley, because I love recreating. But, I was already nervous about just regular writing. So I'm like, but when I start thinking about that, and I already built my characters, and, and I'm going to, dust myself off and actually get the pen and paper going, I'm excited more about doing that than anything else.
Yeah.
When it comes to writing, I'm more
Yes.
excited to write fiction now. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm like,
I have fun. Like literally, when I'm writing a fiction book, I feel like work. I love it so much because I get to let my creativity go wherever it wants to go.
yes,
I get to be as
yes,
creative as I want to be. I can make stuff up. I used to tell people, I get to bend time. I can say whatever I want. I can create whatever I want. I don't have to follow
yes,
rules. I can make it all up. That is fun for me.
yes, yes. And I'm glad we brought that up, because like I said, definitely not going to prolong the time, but I'm glad that was brought up, because I want people to know, as kingdom citizens, as
Yes.
believers, that
Yes.
we can go. That's how we dominate the marketplace. That's how we dominate. That's how we
Absolutely.
do it. We got to come in through. That's why I'm drawn to entertainment. So in
Yes.
TV and all that, that's a big thing for me. I
Yes.
can't wait to really get heavy into that. But I want to entertain through it, through shows and through different things like that. We got to be okay with getting into these places to get the
Yes.
message out. We got to
Absolutely.
be okay.
We
And we don't
can't
have to say
upset
Jesus,
the
Jesus,
world.
Jesus. We don't have to jump on people and say, get Jesus, get saved, get right. We can do it through,
They're
do it
like, what? They're scared.
right,
They move.
right. But you can do it through the back door, and they'll know. They'll be like, that made me think about my life. That made
Exactly.
me really consider some things. That made
Exactly.
me, and you may never once said Jesus in that whole thing.
Nope. They just know. And you don't have to have the old sage black woman that always quotes scriptures either. I'm so tired of seeing that. I'm so tired of seeing that. Why we gotta have one of those in every single black film? Please stop.
You said stop it,
Please
and
stop.
stop it soon. Stop it quick.
Yesterday. Yesterday would have been nice. Please and thank you.
Yesterday would have been. Otescia, this has been amazing. This was so fun. This was extra,
Yes.
extra fun.
Awesome.
Again, if you guys that are watching, because I know this is going to be on the podcast as well, we definitely will have all this information in the description. If you do the replay, wherever, YouTube, download on your favorite, like I said, podcast, wherever you like to listen, we'll have the information so that you can click the links as well. But for those who are watching, you can see the links, you can see how to get in touch with her. Is there anything else you want to say about what you have, what you got going on, or okay, you good? Okay. Say all mine's clear.
This was fun. Yeah.
This was fun. This was fun. Okay, let me see. Let me do all of my what do you say, getting stuff all together for the benediction. Listen, y'all. That's why I was like, all mine's clear, heart's clear. I love this. This has been amazing. I can't wait to see what's produced from this. I'm expecting great things to come from all of y'all. Y'all, like I said, y'all got the sauce. She didn't gave up all the secrets. There is nothing that she did not reveal. Well, I mean, she got a few things she didn't reveal, but So let me try to do my, being the producer, being the host, God's gonna send my team.
We're on the way. We call them forth now.
I know that's right. So again, what I like to do is just kind of close out with something really encouraging. Like I always say at the end of the show, now is the time to be exactly what God has called you to be, to do exactly what God has called you to do. Now is a time to become the best version of you and to live the life that God had intended or has intended for you to live. Now is the time. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Right now, at this very moment, is the time. So be the best version of you that you can be. That's what this is all about. Anytime I talk to you, anytime I get on the show, anytime I do anything live, I'm always here to promote you, the audience, to say, listen, or to encourage you, to empower you to say, get out there and be everything he called you to be. We don't know the days or the hours or the time. That's so churchy, but it's so true. We just don't know when our last breath is going to be. That is such a true statement. And we see that more than ever in 2020. You just don't know. So if you made it through 2020, you're in 2021, you have a life to live and you have something to do. Don't take it for granted. He has given you tools. He has put people around you that will help to boost you up. So take advantage of everything that has been given to you. Mm-hmm. And again, thank you to my very special guest. This was so great. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us. But I know this was rich and empowering, and I know they got some good stuff out of this. If they didn't, they're lying. So again, we just want to say thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. And until next time, take care, be blessed, and have a great week. Just have the best week you can have, no matter what. Don't let your week be messed up by anything. Just have a great week. And we'll talk to you again soon. See you later. Bye-bye. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode of Getting to the Root with Tracy Palmer. If so, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel in order to be notified when a new episode is posted. You can also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or go to my website at gttrwithtracypalmer.com. Until next time, take care and be blessed.